The corridors of Galactic Academy were humming with the usual chaos of the first day of the semester. Aliens of all shapes and sizes filled the wide metallic hallways, their voices overlapping in strange harmonics. Humans were rare here. Even rarer were human girls. A cluster of alien students leaned against the walls of the main atrium, their tentacles flicking lazily, tails coiling like snakes. Their eyes, bright and reflective, followed the new arrivals with predatory amusement. At the center of the hallway, a small group of humans walked hesitantly, clutching their registration forms. Among them, one girl stood out. She was not tall, not bulky, not particularly intimidating by any normal standard. Her hair was dark and sleek, eyes sharp and unflinching. Her posture straight despite the sea of alien stares. Her name was Elaros. She had transferred here from Earth's elite academy for gifted students. On Earth, she had been an unremarkable human in a world of humans. Here, she was a human in a galaxy of giants, hunters, and predators. And apparently, that made her a target. "Hey, Earthling," a voice hissed from behind her. Ilara didn't turn. She knew the voice. A trio of aliens, tall, muscular, and mean-looking, had been observing her since she stepped through the atrium. One of them had 4 arms, another had a long prehensile neck, and the last had a thick exoskeleton that glinted in the fluorescent lights. "New girl," the 4-armed one said, leaning close. "You don't belong here." Ilara's lips curved into a faint smile. "That's kind of the point of transferring," she said softly. Her voice was calm, steady. It carried a quiet authority that made heads turn, though most ignored it. The alien with the exoskeleton snorted, flexing his claws. "You'll learn quick. Here, the strong survive, and the weak get crushed." They stepped closer, blocking her path. One of them, the longest-necked one, shoved her hard. Ilara stumbled, almost falling to the floor. The crowd gasped. That's when she stood up fully. Her eyes narrowed. Every muscle in her body tensed. The aliens expected her to retreat. They expected fear. What they didn't expect was what came next. Ilara's hand shot forward. With a sudden motion that was almost too fast to follow, she grabbed the wrist of the alien who had pushed her. Then, with a twist, she used his momentum against him, sending him sprawling across the floor. The crowd froze. The aliens stared. One of them laughed nervously. "Beginner's luck," he said, though his voice lacked conviction. Ilara didn't respond. She simply looked at the 3 remaining bullies. "Try me," she said. A tense silence followed. Then the 4-armed alien lunged. Ilara sidestepped, grabbed one arm, and flipped him over her shoulder. He hit the floor with a thunderous crash, knocking over a nearby display. The crowd erupted in whispers, a mix of awe and fear. The exoskeleton alien charged, horns lowered. Ilara stepped forward calmly. She ducked under the charge, grasped his horns, and twisted. There was a crack, a yell, and the alien stumbled back, shaking his head. Wide dash, the long-necked one tried again, but Ilara was already moving. Her foot swept under his legs, sending him sprawling. He landed hard, and the air whooshed out of him in a strangled hiss. The atrium went silent. Not a sound, not a whisper. All eyes were on the small human girl standing in the middle of the floor. She was breathing evenly, not a hair out of place. Then she turned and walked past them, head held high. Not a word spoken. Somewhere in the crowd, a younger alien whispered, She didn't even break a sweat. The bullies scrambled to their feet, furious. They had underestimated her. They had made the biggest mistake of their lives. From that day on, Alara Voss was no longer the new girl. She was the human nobody dared to bully. The next week, rumors spread across the academy. Stories of the human girl who had single-handedly defeated 4 of the strongest students on the first day. Some called her lucky. Others said she had trained in secret. Everyone agreed she was dangerous. Alara, however, was only beginning. The academy had a martial training program. It wasn't just fighting. It was strategy, survival, and adaptation. Aliens with natural strength, speed, and combat instincts dominated the program. Humans rarely lasted a month. Alara signed up without hesitation. She moved through the drills with calm precision, observing, learning, adapting. Her instructors were astonished. Her movements were human, yes, but her mind worked differently. She anticipated attacks with almost preternatural speed. Every move she made seemed to counter her opponent before they even decided on it. One day, during a sparring session, she was paired with an 8-foot-tall alien named Koroth. Koroth was known for his brute force. Most students lost in under 10 seconds. Alara lasted 3 minutes. Then she disarmed him. The entire training hall froze. The instructor, a towering being with multiple arms, stared at her. "How?" he murmured. "How did a human do that?" Alara smiled faintly. "Observation," she said. "Timing. Understanding your opponent. That's all." By the end of the semester, Alara had earned a reputation that even the most arrogant aliens respected. She wasn't just strong. She was brilliant, tactical, relentless, and above all, human. Months later, a major event shook the academy. The Galactic Championship, a test of combat, intelligence, and strategy, was announced. Every student dreamed of participating. Every student hoped to win. Alara entered without hesitation. Her bullies, now humbled but still arrogant, signed up as well. They thought they could redeem themselves. The championship was brutal. Teams from different species, each with unique skills, competed in a series of challenges designed to test every limit. Strength, agility, intelligence, courage, and endurance were all required. Alara moved through the rounds with a calm determination. Each match was a lesson. Each opponent a puzzle to solve. And when she faced her former bullies in the semi-final, she didn't hesitate. The match started. The bullies attacked in coordinated chaos, believing that sheer numbers and strength would overwhelm her. Alara observed, moved, and countered. Every strike they made was anticipated. Every trap they set was avoided. Then she acted. With speed that shocked everyone, she turned their attack against them. One by one, the bullies fell. Not broken, not humiliated, but outmaneuvered, outclassed. They had trained for power. She had trained for intelligence and adaptability. The crowd erupted in cheers. Even the instructors were stunned. Alara didn't celebrate. She simply looked around, took a deep breath, and prepared for the final round. The final opponent was a massive alien champion from another sector. He was known for crushing entire teams single-handedly. Every student feared him. Alara studied him. She watched his stance, his breathing, the slight rhythm in his movements. She waited. Then, with calculated precision, she moved. Every strike, every maneuver, every counter was perfect. The alien champion, as strong and skilled as he was, could not predict her. Every time he attacked, she was already one step ahead. Every time he tried to overpower her, she redirected his strength. Finally, with a decisive move, she unbalanced him, brought him to the ground, and pinned him. The hall exploded in cheers. Students of all species clapped, cheered, and chanted her name. Ilara Voss, the human girl who had been underestimated, had won. Her former bullies watched, wide-eyed. They had learned their lesson. Humans were not weak. Humans were unpredictable. Humans were relentless. From that day on, Ilara became more than just a student. She became a legend. Stories of her courage, intelligence, and skill spread across the galaxy. Humans who had once been ignored or underestimated gained a new respect. And as for her bullies, they never underestimated a human again. Not one. Ilara walked the halls of Galactic Academy with the same calm, steady confidence as before. But now she was recognized, respected, and, most importantly, unstoppable, because the galaxy had learned one undeniable truth: never underestimate a human. Asterisk.